What's going on, everybody? This is Alexi Smith. Wanted to make a quick update video on what is going on with the coronavirus. So, as you can see, it's not day 352 of the coronavirus, but still, it has been a couple weeks. As a matter of fact, it's been a couple months, since all this has started. But I just wanted to give you a quick update as far as where we are right now. So right now, confirmed worldwide is a little over 4 million cases that have been confirmed. Right now, the amount of people that's recovered, it's a little over or right around 1.5 million that's have recovered. And then as far as deaths, it's been close to 300,000 deaths. Right, so not any numbers to play around with. Now, luckily, it wasn't as bad as they've been saying it was going to be, but still, these are still some serious numbers. Now, just in the United States alone, close to 1.5 million confirmed cases. When it comes to recovered individuals, about 250,000, and then when it comes to death, 83,000. And I want to highlight New York. Why? Because New York has been one of the worst hit cases or worst hit places over the whole entire country. So in just New York alone, they had over 300,000 confirmed cases. That's more than most countries. New York had more cases than most countries, right? And then when it comes to deaths, in New York, it's right a little over 20,000, right? So the first thing that I want to do is give you guys the update on these numbers, but here's what you got to pay attention to. These numbers aren't really 100%. So here's what I mean by that. So when it comes to confirmed cases, you had to physically go somewhere, they tested you, and then they said, yes, you have the coronavirus. So what does that mean? There's a lot of people who weren't tested, still had the virus, but you're not counting in these numbers. Similar to unemployment. We know unemployment is a little over 30 million right now. You have to literally have filed for unemployment to be counted as an unemployed person. So we know there's numbers, there's a bigger story than what the numbers tell us. Now, here's another thing that I wanted to talk about. So we hear a lot about, some people think that, the coronavirus was a conspiracy. It's not real. It's 5G towers that's causing it. A lot of different things. But regardless of what's actually happened, or was it is it something that came from China because they were eating things they weren't supposed to? Did it come up in the lab? Regardless of what it was specifically, here's what I do want to focus on, which is the facts on paper. So right now, if we look at the worldwide cases, we know over 4 million people have it, 1.5 million recovered, and about 300,000 people died. Right? But then where's the other 2.5 million people? Like, what happened to the 2.5 million people? So I'm trying to figure it out. At what point in time are you considered recovered? Right? So if I contracted the virus 3 months ago and now I'm still alive, are they counting me as recovered? How do I know if I'm one of the recovered individuals? And the reason why this is so important is because depending on how you classify who's recovered, who has it, that can make the whole situation look better or worse. So I just want to highlight that. Now, where are those 2.5 million? I don't know. We're trying to figure out where the 2.5 million people are, but there's something we got to pay attention to here, right? Not only that, right now I've noticed there's a lot of changes happening as far as there's businesses that are starting to open up. Right? Some businesses are starting to open up. Some businesses want to open up. We actually had, I seen a report on an ice cream stand. They opened up for one day, and then literally they were shut back down the next day, right? Literally today, it was the first time I seen kids playing basketball again. I was like, oh, wow, awesome, the kids are playing basketball. But what's the first thing I thought in my head? I hope they don't get arrested. Because right now it is still illegal for you to have groups that are too big. You still have to practice social distancing. So we still got to be safe when it comes to the health aspects. But at the same time, we got to find a way to still go out and spend money. Why? Because if not, it's going to be worse on our economy. So you got to pay attention to that. And the last thing that I wanted to touch on is what to expect moving forward. What to expect moving forward. And really, there's a couple things. So one, there's certain things that are going to open up. There's certain things that are going to open up. So you're going to see more businesses starting to go back to normal. But then there's other businesses that are not coming back. There's certain businesses that, seriously, they're not coming back, right? So depending on what industry you're in, you got to pay attention to this, because you got to know that there's going to be, even after they say, oh, there's no more coronavirus. Let's say you hear a report tomorrow, there's no more coronavirus. Are you going to go back to shaking hands? Like immediately? Are you going to go back to hugging people immediately? Probably not. Probably not. So there's a lot of businesses that really are not going to be able to recover from this situation. And what you can also expect people to continue to wear face masks. How long? Probably for the next couple of years. Seriously, I'm expecting that face masks are going to be like shoes, to where if you see somebody without a face mask on, it's going to be equivalent to you seeing somebody without shoes on. Like, what are you doing? You're outside without shoes on? Like, that's what it's going to be for face masks. So expect a lot more businesses to pop up where you're going to have face masks that match your clothes, the same way how you got your socks that match your tie. That's what's going to happen with face masks. So that's not going anywhere, at least for the next couple of years, right? But like I said, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to change. Biggest thing you got to pay attention to is, depending on what industry you're in, are you in an industry that's not going to go back to normal? Because if so, you might need to find a way to change industries, right? So I don't want to tell you guys all this information and leave you with nothing to do about it. So we're actually going to have a webinar going on this weekend. So this Saturday, we're going to have a webinar going on, giving you more tips as far as what you can do, to help your financial situation. Also give you some tips on the health aspect, so we're going to give you some strategies as far as what you can do when it comes to the coronavirus, because yes, things are getting better, I hope, right? But the truth is, it's not over yet.